To completely change your mindset, you must first accept a truth that most people run from. The life you are living today is not an accident, not the fault of luck, not a punishment from fate, but the direct reflection of the beliefs, fears, excuses, delays, and comfort you have allowed to command your actions. Your mindset is not just thinking, it is identity architecture, the mental code that determines how you see failure, how you handle rejection, how you respond to discomfort, and how you justify procrastination. You were trained to seek safety instead of growth, validation instead of vision, pleasure instead of purpose, and those programs built the life you feel stuck inside. The old version of you was shaped by comparison, hesitation, emotional triggers, and the constant need to feel comfortable before acting, and that version cannot build the life you secretly know you deserve. To truly change your mindset, you must delete that internal operating system, not upgrade it. You must remove the voice that tells you to wait, to fear judgment, to quit when progress slows, to hide when pressure rises, and you must replace it with the psychology of someone who acts without mood permission, who executes without applause, who rises without being asked, and who practices discipline even when motivation dies. The transformation of mindset is not gentle, not poetic, not a motivational rush. It is demolition. You must break the mental architecture that has kept you surviving instead of evolving. You must bury the identity that settles for good enough, because comfort is not rest. It is slow suffocation. It rewards hesitation, it numbs ambition, and it convinces you that tomorrow is guaranteed, that time is abundant, that your destiny can wait. Changing your mindset means confronting the habits that killed your growth, the thoughts that weakened your confidence, the people who normalized mediocrity around you, and the beliefs that made you shrink yourself to fit environments too small for your vision. This psychological rebirth demands sacrifice. Removing people who drain you, eliminating distractions that feed your procrastination, rejecting excuses disguised as self-care, and killing the addiction to short-term dopamine that made you mistake scrolling for productivity. You must become the person who stays when inspiration leaves, who pushes when routine gets dull, who endures when discipline feels heavy, and who understands that mastery is built in boredom, not excitement. True mindset change begins when you stop negotiating with your potential. No more bargaining with weakness. No more explaining your dreams to non-dreamers. No more delaying progress because comfort whispers that you have time. You must stop believing that motivation is necessary for action. Action is necessary for motivation. The moment you begin to live by discipline instead of desire is the moment your psychological identity rewires. You will feel resistance, because your brain was programmed for years to chase pleasurable distraction instead of meaningful development. But if you continue despite the discomfort, despite the emotional withdrawal from your old self, your mind will adapt. It will become resilient instead of reactive, strategic instead of impulsive, focused instead of scattered. Eventually, what once felt impossible, waking early, performing consistently, thinking independently, working without applause, becomes automatic identity. You no longer wake up needing external validation. You wake up with internal command. When the mindset transforms, everything transforms around it. Your routines, your standards, your boundaries, your relationships, your tolerance for excuses, and your appetite for greatness. You will realize that most people never change not because they can't, but because they won't outgrow the environments and identities that keep them comfortable. But when you cross that invisible line, when discipline becomes normal, when discomfort becomes growth, when solitude becomes clarity, when failure becomes information instead of humiliation, you become unrecognizable to your past. The war is no longer inside you but in the world that cannot understand your evolution. You are not chasing success anymore. You are embodying it. You are not hoping for confidence. You are building it through repetition and endurance. You are not waiting for the perfect moment. You are creating it. That is the definition of a true mindset shift. A permanent psychological rise to a level where the old you simply cannot survive, and the new you refuses to ever return to who you once were.